I'm Greg Pawley, and I'm with the Sicilian Bank. My trade by profession is actually a CPA, which is a Certified Public Accountant. However, my title here at the bank is President and CEO. Probably the most important thing that I do is to meet with customers. We'll meet with customers to discuss everything from opening deposit accounts, so do they need a student checking account, checking accounts, certificates of deposit, individual retirement accounts. I'll talk with them about loans. So if they need a car loan, they need a construction loan for a house or a business loan. And so those are the most common things that I do on a daily routine. That's probably the number one thing that I do on a daily routine. Second is that in my position, I pretty much come in and check out the health of the bank every day. So I'll check out the numbers of the bank, take a look at the financial statement that's printed off that morning, check and see how the bank's doing, what the bank needs, that type of thing. So the Sicilian Bank has got 12 locations in 4 different counties, so it's a lot to look at, but it's something you have to keep your eye on every day so that you don't let something slip through the cracks. Third thing I guess I'm responsible for is the overall strategic planning and vision of the bank. So I help set the goals of the bank and what we want to accomplish. And the nice thing about that is then I get to work with all the departments in the bank. So anything from marketing to human resources to our loan officers to tellers. I get to work with all facets of the bank, which is kind of nice. I get to stay in touch with all the people who run those departments, and we continue to work on the goals that we have set at the bank, making sure we accomplish those goals. Then the fourth thing I probably do on a fairly routine basis is making sure the bank is concentrating on growth and profitability. So I work with marketing quite often just to kind of make sure we're doing the right things out in the community and all the different media sources that we advertise through. Make sure we're going in the right direction for the bank. Also look at cost savings inside the bank. So it could be anything from just saving on paper, not printing as much paper and those type of things. And then I look at revenue enhancements. So I'm involved in a lot of the product selections and the new product offerings and that type of thing. And then the last thing is I just, as part of banking, you have to monitor interest rates and the economy just pretty much every day. So I started out at St. James School for 2 years, and then I went to the county schools. So I went to G.C. Burkhead. After that, I spent some time what used to be called Hardin Central Junior High School. Then I went to East Hardin High School, went all 4 years there. Graduated in 1981. After that, I went to Bellarmine College up in Louisville, Kentucky, and graduated with that accounting degree there. And then I have found out that you still go to school every day. So basically I'm studying, I'm learning, and I'm educating just about every day on something. So I was lucky because I found out pretty early what I wanted to do. I was heavily involved in sports, and of course I thought that's what I wanted to be, was a baseball player. But I got lucky, and in my freshman year at East Hardin, I figured out that accounting was what I liked. I liked the math part, I liked the analytical skills you have to use. So I set a goal for myself then to become an accountant, to pass the CPA exam, Certified Public Accountant exam, and I wanted to own a CPA firm. So in business for myself. And I did that. I did that for about 12, 13 years. And then I reset my goals because suddenly I found out that I liked banking because a lot of the clients that I had was banking. So I reset my goals and decided I would like to be involved with banking, and set a goal that possibly one day I could run a bank. And so I spent several years here as being the chief financial officer, and then got the opportunity to take over as president. So I have to set a new goal now, which right now is just take care of my kids, I think, as far as family goals and that type of thing. work goals, I think I just want to continue to strive to grow the bank and make it as a great a place to work as I can. So I'd always set out to be successful, pretty determined that I was going to become an accountant, become the best accountant I could be. Probably one of the biggest lessons I learned was find a mentor, find a leader that you can trust, someone that is very successful themselves, but find that person that'll keep you straight. You know, I went through some things with athletics and things, and couldn't find maybe the role model I needed there, and then I ended up finding the role model I needed in a man by the name of Charles Young, who was at East Hardin High School, and he put me on the right path towards business. He was the counselor for Future Business Leaders of America, and so he put me on the right path. We were very successful. We had a parliamentary procedure team that went to the state competition and won, and we got to go to the nationals, and that was just a blast. What it taught me was that leadership is really very important as far as, you know, lessons in life. So I would encourage you to find you a mentor, find you a leader, and then learn everything you can about being a leader, and try to put those characteristics inside you and live them every day. I think that's probably the biggest thing I learned by going to the county schools. Very fortunate to find a man by the name of Charles Young to help me out. He was a great teacher and a good Christian person, and that really helped me out. I'm fortunate enough to work with some really good leaders. So I think I run with a group of leaders. I think that's important. Even in high school, it's all about who you hang with, I think, in order to stay straight. So I try to surround myself by leaders. I'm very fortunate to have a board of directors here at the bank that I would say are my leaders, my mentors now. They're great coaches, very cooperative in helping me get accomplished what we need to do. So you know, I'm very fortunate just to here at work to have great leaders. I'm involved with all those every day, so that's good. In this profession in banking, every bank's different, and every position in a bank's different. But to give you an idea, let's say you wanted to start an entry-level position in banking. Most often that's the teller line. You know, you're probably going to come in at a minimum somewhere around $9 an hour, with an opportunity, and if you build a career there as a career teller, to double that at some point in time. So, you know, $9 an hour up to $18 to $20 an hour in your career. There's many other jobs that you can get into in banking, loan officers, human resources, those type of things. So depending on the size of your bank, if you're a very small community bank, your salary and compensation may not grow as fast. If you're in a larger bank, then your salary would grow faster. For me, you know, my profession, a community banker that's a president and CEO of a bank, could make anywhere, depending on the size of your bank, could make anywhere in the range of $100,000 a year up to $500,000 a year. It just depends on size of your bank, you know, how many assets you're managing, how many employees you're managing, those type of things. I think people would be surprised what a numbers game it is. So you really have to know numbers. I think another thing is people skills is extremely important. If you're a teller on that front line, you're the face of the bank lots of times. So customer sees you before they see anybody else. So people skills are extremely important. Being able to carry on a conversation, get along with people. And then community involvement, I think, would surprise people how much we do in the community. People that work in our bank are involved in just about every club, every organization, charities. You know, we're in parades, we're in community events. We do an extreme amount of that. So banking isn't just about making money or helping others be successful with their money. It's about building a community, and we spend a lot of dollars and resources on that. So I think people will be surprised how many hours we put into that. What I always tell people is that be financially responsible. That's a biggie. We have so many people that apply for a job in a bank and their credit is terrible. So, you know, you pull a credit report on them and you take a look at how they've handled their finances. and they haven't been able to pay their bills, make their payments. It's really hard to get a job in banking if you don't, if you're not financially responsible. So I would urge you to be very financially responsible. Encourage you to get a college degree. I think you need to be very selfish about that. Nothing should get in the way of earning a college degree, and that includes boyfriends, that includes girlfriends, that includes outside influences that aren't very good. You need to be very selfish about getting your college degree. That has to come first. And then I say, just learn all you can about accounting and finance. And then I think you have to have a servant's heart. So, you have to be willing to help others, and that's really what banking is a lot about. It's customer service. It's helping others be successful with their money. So devoting time to just having a servant's heart and wanting to help others. And then, of course, work ethic. You hear all the things in county schools today, and I think they do a good job of emphasizing, don't do the drugs, don't do the alcohol. And those things are extremely important because, we're looking for high energy people, self-motivated people, self-starters. So those kind of influences and those kind of things are very counterproductive. So when they're preaching to you about work ethic, you really need to listen. It's very important. Showing up to work on time. Those skills, if you don't have them, it's hard to get employed anywhere, but it's very important in banking.